The main gist of the film is about a breakup between two friends, basically.
Two lifelong friends from the same island, same tight-knit island community, and within 60 seconds of the opening of the film, one friend decides that he hasn't got space for the other friend in his life anymore, and then the next 90 minutes is how the consequences of that fateful decision seep out into the community and how they affect so many lives.
There's something very nice if you work with brilliant and smart people, and Martin always delivers brilliant scripts, gets actors and makes wonderful films.
How has it been working with Martin again?
Easy. He's brilliant, he's brilliant and he's mischievous and he's
incisive,
incisive and deeply feeling at the end of the day. Because you could write him off just as, an agent provocateur of cinema, or someone who is anarchic in spirit, and he is anarchic in spirit, and he is irreverent at times, and all that good stuff. But ultimately, in my estimation, he's a really deeply feeling, compassionate fella, and he's got a very healthy curiosity as to why human beings are the way we are and why we do the things we do to ourselves and to each other. And that's always, the cornerstone of his work, and then everything else is just icing on the cake.
His films and stories are so unique and so unusual that I think nowadays with theatres or cinemas you kind of go, why are you going to go? What's going to be special about this? And this film, The Banshees of Inisherin, is pretty special, I think.
And how has it been working with the cast on it?
Fantastic. I hadn't worked with Barry before, but I'd always wanted to because I've been keeping an eye on what he's been up to over the last few years. Kerry Condon I worked with like 20 years ago on 3 different plays, so it was great to get back together with her. She had a small part in 3 Billboards as well, but I wanted to at least write a part that shows off how brilliant she is as an actress, and I think she really nailed it in the film. She almost steals the film. I won't say that too loudly with the boys here, but I think she's amazing in it.
It was so funny, I was in Bruges just quite a while ago now, but it's a film that's endured and people have always enjoyed, and it just keeps on playing. People often go, what have you made? And in Bruges is one of the ones they recognise. But that's a film about an assumed friendship, and Colin and Brendan play that with each other. This is a film about the breakup of a friendship, and Colin and Brendan are best friends. So it's kind of lovely to see them playing it. But they're wonderful actors, and Barry and Kerry too. And Martin likes a company of actors, and he's worked with them all before, and I'm sure he will again. It's interesting that Martin McDonagh has family in Galway. His mum and dad live in Galway on the west coast of Ireland. So Martin has known that area and the Aran Islands for a number of years. And I think in this one he wanted to create a fictional island set around there. We shot on Inishmore and another island called Achill Island, and we sort of merged the two to be our beautiful west coast island, and it looks lovely in the film. We're very happy with it.
The backdrop of that is the Irish Civil War, which was a horrible war between two sides who had been on the same side just a year previously. So I like the sort of metaphorical and mirroring aspects of that. How things can spiral in the darkest way, even in a breakup story.
What do you hope is the lasting impression for the audience on this one?
I'm honestly not sure. I've been kind of surprised and intrigued about how people are reacting to it so far. There's no right or wrong way. I've been in audiences where there's always a lot of laughs, but it's hard to judge when it goes to more sad places. It's hard to judge where they're going with it. But everyone has been positive afterwards, but I think it leaves a slightly, in a good way, a sort of melancholy feel afterwards maybe, which is kind of cool and not a lot of films necessarily try that, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
I think there's something very interesting in Martin as a filmmaker. His endings always leave the audience with something to think about. There's no neat, easy out on his endings. And I think on this one, we can ask ourselves questions about why we fall out, what we fight about, and what we don't fight about, and whether it was a good idea at all.